This is a review for the Ducky One 3 keyboard from Ducky. Some pros and cons. Regretfully, you can't set the animations for the LED lights, and that is a little bit of a problem with my ADD because it's distracting me from doing my work. I hoped, and that is the next con, I hope that you could freeze those animations in the software. But regretfully you can't, because there is no software to program the keyboard. There are some shortcuts in the manual, but a lot of those shortcuts somehow don't work on this keyboard. Which brings me to the next thing, that maybe that manual that I found isn't for this keyboard. And that is because the naming of this product is a little bit confusing, because it's Ducky One, but the Ducky One 3. And by the way, there is software for the Ducky One 1 and the Ducky One 2, I believe. I'm not sure. Then we have the manual, and the manual is directly translated from Chinese. The problem with that is that it is so literally translated from Chinese to English that I'm not sure, my first language isn't English, I'm not sure what they exactly mean, and especially they describe some keyboard shortcuts. I'm not exactly sure what they mean. So maybe the manual is correct, but the translation is faulty, so I can't do the things that they talk about in the manual. Another con of this keyboard is that there is low frequency LEDs in the keyboard. In other words, you see it constantly flickering in the corner of your eye, and that is distracting, especially when you have ADD or HDD. And like you see here, when you sit at your desk, then you see that the LED lights shine directly into your eyes, and that is a little bit annoying, and especially when they flicker, that is really distracting. Another downside I found is that the keys of the keyboard are pointy, and when you, especially the control key and the arrow keys, is that I often rest my fingers on those keyboard shortcut keys, or I have to press them a lot. And the problem with that is that after a while it starts to irritate your fingers. The typing and pressing of the keys of the keyboard is pretty easy to do, and somehow I'm always on the wrong key of the keyboard, and because this is a thing that you do really easily, and you press 3 or 4 keys. I'm not sure what it is exactly about the profile of the keys, but somehow I often press 2 or 3 keys at once, and then I have to go back and then again. In other words, if you are not exactly on the key itself, you press multiple keys at once. Also, the keys are pretty high on the keyboard, so you have to always almost grab the keys on the keyboard. It's I don't know how to describe it, but when we have a normal keyboard, you don't have to reach for the key, and that makes typing, you always have to be cramped with your arm to type on the keyboard, and that is really not really good for your RSI, so your repetitive strain injury. So yeah, if you type a lot on the keyboard, I wouldn't recommend this keyboard. Some pros for this keyboard is that you can adjust the height of the keyboard, because there are multiple stands on the bottom of the keyboard, so you can adjust the height. You can see here it's also you can or grab this one or use only this part. Like you can see over here, there is a part for the cable. This is my own cable, by the way. The keyboard comes with a white cable. This is my own cable, by the way. The keyboard comes with a white cable. And when you look at the underside of the keyboard, you can see, yeah, the label is a little bit smudgy. Whew. The thing is pretty heavy. The build quality is pretty good of the keyboard. The shortcut keys on the keyboard itself, you can call the calculator directly with this key over here. Yeah, it can be useful sometimes, but yeah. And you can control the volume of your computer or mute the volume of your computer. In the box of the keyboard are a couple of things included. There is an extra space bar, which, by the way, I don't know if it comes across on video, but the color of the white is not matching the color of the rest of the keys. Here is a really simple manual which doesn't explain much. And there are some spare keys. This is, by the way, the cable. This is the thing to remove the keycaps of the keys on the keyboard. And there are also some extra keys included. And if you're a real fan of Ducky, you can have some stickers over here. And included is a backspace key in white and in yellow. Would I recommend this keyboard? No. On the one side, the typing is extremely good. The feel of the keyboard is extremely good. But yeah, the prone to RSI thing is yeah, an absolute no-go for me. And the annoying sides of the keys is a no-go for me. Also, by the way, these LEDs that are here on the keyboard, yeah, it doesn't come across here on the video, but it shines in your eyes, and that is a little bit annoying.